music with my bro. Will it dig it? Yes or no? Here we go on with the show, the Hear Me Out Bro podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hear Me Out Bro podcast. I'm Eric. I'd like to welcome back my brother Clark.
Hey everybody.
We had a week off there, and now we're back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had the crud that's going around, so.
All right. This week we're going to be... Oops. I'm jumping the gun.
You're anxious. You've been doing star jumps for a week. It's like...
Oh, man.
Montaging.
No, I haven't been doing that.
Why not? That's what I would have been doing if I hadn't been sick.
My back was out last week, so I don't know. It kind of worked out to have a week off.
My back got better. Like, I was so glad. Like, I've been dealing with sciatica for like 2 months. And it was like a couple days before getting sick. Like, it started feeling great. That I got sick, and it's like, man, if I had been bedridden, like fevery and unable to do anything with sciatica, it would have been miserable.
Yeah, we got a message about the podcast from somebody saying that we were only posing as old men to try and come off like with some like music cred or something like that.
Like a stolen valor kind of thing.
Yeah, like, oh, you guys aren't really old. Mm-hmm. So we thought we'd just, like talk about like, up the cred of like, no, we're actually old and like achy and
yeah, we'll talk about back pain and fake plants, polyester trousers, polyester slacks.
Yeah. So
do you prefer Sansa Belt or what was the other brand?
Hager.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Oh, wait, I shouldn't say depends. We're not that old yet.
No. Someday.
Okay. As always, you can find all of our playlists and all of our episodes on YouTube by searching for @HMOBP, HMOBP for Hear Me Out Bro podcast. And you can listen along if you like to our playlists at the same time as the episode, or you can download our speech-only episodes anywhere you listen to podcasts or download podcasts. And if you want to reach out to us with any questions, comments, critiques, commentary, you can...
Or queries.
Get a hold... Or queries.
Queries.
You can get a hold of us at hearmeoutbropodcast@gmail.com. And if you would like to follow us on Facebook, we have a Facebook page, the HMOB, the H-Mob. If you want to follow us there, whenever we put up a new episode, that's the first place to get notified about that. And if there's any other little side quests or inside jokes or goofy things, we'll put it up there too. Or in-show discussion topics sometimes pop up there. So this week, Clark is going to convince me that I've been missing out by not having a constant soundtrack to my life of library music.
Yes.
So I'm going to turn it over to Clark, and he's going to explain the whole library music thing to us.
Yeah, everybody.
Are we going into the closed stacks here?
Yes. Everybody put on your cardigan sweaters and affix the chains to your glasses and limber up your card catalog riffling fingers, because we're doing it Dewey Decimal style with library music this week. I think I made all of those jokes at the end of the last episode.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe not all of them.
Apologies for that, too. Yeah, so library music its origin came from England in the 60s. And you think, oh, well, isn't that just skiffle? No. It wasn't like a trend. It was like a new industry of commercial music. So like record companies started having divisions that would like hire composers and like session musicians, often like people at the top of their game, really experienced session musicians and really experienced composers. And they would just kind of like hang out and make music, I guess. Like they were kind of...
I'm going to be listening for like Jimmy Page guitar riffs.
I mean, possibly.
Possibly, who knows?
So KPM was a division of EMI Records in the 60s. And they were kind of the founders of this industry. And it was like kind of like speculative commercial music. So it was like...
I mean, is it similar to like Muzak or like canned music that they would play in elevators or
it basically
like department stores or something?
A lot of the early stuff definitely has that vibe, but it's also like
licensable stuff if you want it for like a commercial or something, or exactly. Or just like a media.
Yeah, and so they KPM had the KPM 1000 series, which sounds like a type of...
Is that a robot?
Yeah, it sounds like a type of Star Wars astromech or something. And
what was the robot on Rocknology?
Oh, yeah.
It was the something 1000.
Yeah. We should know.
There's no way to find out either.
I know. We should know. That's like one of the main ingredients of inspiration for our podcast.
Sorry for the
No. I mean, it's totally in that wheelhouse, but like KPM 1000. Yeah, so it was like a series of records, and they all kind of had themes. They had really kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you'll get an impression of like the song titles, because, it wasn't like, Baby, I Love You, or like, I Want to Hold Your Hand. It was more kind of like mood music. So it would have like kind of abstract-y kind of names. I don't know, but like in like a cool mod way. Maybe I'm over-explaining it. I first came across it probably 30 years ago. Back in the day, if you're Gen X, you remember Borders books. If you're like lived at all near like a suburban wasteland like the rest of us, you probably had a Borders books, and like it was one of the few places that was open kind of late. And it was like, dude, date night. Let's go to Borders books and like get coffee and like look at books and pick up music. Like it was kind of this cool mix of all the things that I was super into in my 20s. And they had a lot of like Rhino Records CDs and stuff. So I got a bunch of cool like Trojan and Rhino Records compilations and stuff. There was a lot of like kind of groovy house music, Jamiroquai adjacent kind of compilations of stuff, where it would be like groovy hip hop remixes and then super groovy library music like combined on this one CD. And so it was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So I had a lot of these like kind of early 2000s like groovy compilations, and then never really listened to them and loved them, never really thought about it that much. And then I played a ton of this video game series called Saints Row. That was kind of a like the first one is definitely just a straight Grand Theft Auto ripoff, but they quickly realized that like, well, we can't outcompete Grand Theft Auto at being Grand Theft Auto, but we can be like the super ridiculous alternative. Just like lean into the goofy stuff. And so it was just like, yeah, that's perfect. It's Grand Theft Auto, but it's not trying to be like super hard or super serious or super edgy. It's just like, yeah, it's super dumb. Like, but dumb in like a cool way. And so I think it was the third one I forget which version of it, but there were like one of the gangs that you fought were the Deckers, and they were this like anime cyberpunk gang, and like the stores in their territory like sold all this like cool gear, and the music in the shop was KPM 1000 library music. And so it was like, whoa, I used to have this song on this CD like 15 years ago. That's cool.
Huh.
You know, like a lot of those Grand Theft Auto kind of games, there were like fake radio stations in the game, and they had a ton of cool music. And so I made like this compilation, because, you know, there were like websites that compiled all the data and stuff. So it would have like song track listings and stuff like that. And so it was like, oh, well, I got to throw in, you know, I'm making this like crime spree playlist with all these cool songs that I found from the fake radio stations in this video game. And I might as well throw in some of this like Alan Hawkshaw and other people, Keith Mansfield and others. And then like, again, didn't really think about it. Just like, oh, it's just weird, groovy 60s music. And then late last year, I think, I watched this YouTube video.
I was wrong about the 1000, the robot announcer on the Rocknology podcast, which all episodes are now available on archive.org.
Oh, cool.
If you want to check them out, highly recommended.
Yeah.
The bot announcer was the T6000.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, so this YouTube channel focuses on music and music history. I had this whole episode about library music. It was like the keys to the kingdom. That it was like, now I know
that's
that,
what
like,
that is.
That's what that is. And like, you know, cue.
That's where it came from.
Yeah. Cue the Leonardo DiCaprio, snap your fingers, point at the screen meme. And it was like the keys to the kingdom. That it's like, oh, now I know what this genre is called. And that, like, it unlocked being able to look up all of it.
You cracked the code.
I cracked the code, or well, had the code cracked for me. So I like to think of it as the Night Flight Orchestra writes music for like an alternate reality, and like library music is like the default music for that alternate reality. That it's like all the other music in that alternate reality is library music. Like it has kind of the same vibes to it, where it's just like this uncanny, like, man, this is really good and really like familiar, but unfamiliar.
Well, to me, it's kind of like acid trip music, but like good acid trip music as opposed to bad acid trip music.
Right.
This is the kind of music you would want like playing in the background of your acid trip.
Probably. There's some different stuff too.
Yeah.
The stuff that bubbles, because there's thousands and thousands of these records, and because like multiple companies in like multiple countries from like up until like the 90s were recording this music.
It's a lot of the early stuff though, like Austin Powers, like era kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like not when the movie came out, but like when the movie was supposed to take place.
Yeah. When Austin.
Okay.
Yeah. The timeline Austin Powers is from.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But then it continued from like the 60s, like the early to mid 60s up until like almost the 90s. So
later on, they stopped.
I don't know. Probably deregulation or re-regulation or Napster or something.
Or Spotify or something.
Yeah. But yeah, like there are a couple songs on the playlist that like you will immediately recognize because it's like, oh yeah, that's the music from this. But then some of it, like maybe you've heard it once, or like, I don't know. It has like this weird uncanny familiarity. And then so like the first half of the playlist is a bunch of KPM 1000 stuff, and the rest is from Brunton. And oh man, I don't want to spoil anything, but like it's kind of like this weird mirror being held up to the world, which is like increases the like uncanny familiarity thing.
Huh.
I don't know. I hope you like it. It's pretty strange.
Yeah.
So yeah, this playlist is also like, I didn't curate it too much. I just picked out like some stuff I wanted to talk about and stuff I thought was cool. And then the Brunton ones, it's like the full album. And we'll just talk about like little snippets of each of those. And so what I wanted for this playlist, because it's all kind of a kind. And so it's one of our longer playlists, both in the number of track listings and like time. But because it's like all sort of in this pocket, like if you're working on a project or something, or bored at work, or like, this is a good playlist to just put on and forget about, have running in the background.
Or if you're hosting fondue night.
Yeah, totally.
Inviting your swinger friends over.
Yes.
For fondue.
Although, have plenty of schnapps on hand, so everybody can be drunk by the end of the playlist. So they don't go, what? What's happening? So without further ado, this is John Cameron, Liquid Sunshine. Yeah. So that's pretty
cool.
much it. Yeah. Like
it's really good. Like, I love instrumental music, like the Ventures and like just incidental like TV show music and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's such a vibey thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, that's totally what this music thrives at, is that vibe. Because it's like they were specifically trying to like market towards certain vibes with the way it was packaged, like composed and packaged. So,
well, it kind of makes sense now to like hear this, that like this is the kind of stuff that like all the people in the Brand New Heavies and Jamiroquai would like hear when their mom takes them to the grocery store.
Right.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Like non-controversial corporate music. But back when that kind of music wasn't like made by machines, like actual people had to write it and perform it.
Yeah. I like the non-worded female vocal kind of things, It's like something from like a Bruce Brown movie or something, or like or like the Star Trek theme or something,
Yeah.
Just like
it's kind of fluty. Yeah, it's like synth flute, but like in a female vocal range tone.
It's probably a lady singing along with a flute player.
Could be.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. There's a Brunton album called Voices in Harmony.
Whoa.
Oh man, it's so good. It's like 40 minutes long. There's not a single word. It's so dope. Oh,
well,
man.
It's international.
It's true.
It's like you put your own meaning into the music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a mellower version of Trololololo, which is also very cool. But oh man.
So there's no artist names along with this kind of stuff, or
no? It's probably
just KPM
compiled somewhere. Yeah, you could probably look it up somehow. But yeah. The tracks are all just listed with the name of the composer.
Okay.
Because like a lot of times the composer was doing most of the music too. So yeah, it's like this kind of music makes me wish that weed didn't mess me up so much. It make me all paranoid because like this be
this is like
accompaniment,
pharmaceutical grade music. Like,
right?
Yeah, it's like well suited to like barbiturates or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like if you're not relaxed at the end of this playlist, I did something wrong. So the next couple tracks are not quite as mellow. The next one is Andy Clark, High Technology. Yes. So what do you think of that one?
I know I've heard that somewhere, or maybe it's just, maybe it's used in a movie, or maybe it's just like kind of what keyboards do. So like,
maybe at some point in your existence, you were transcended into a being of pure laser light. And that was the soundtrack.
Maybe that's what the aliens played while they were probing me.
Maybe.
It's good probing music.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I love the pan flute kind of sounds and the sci-fi church organ.
Oh man.
It's pretty silly, but
that was
also,
a cool one. I know I've heard that somewhere before.
Like I said, like even if you haven't heard that, you've probably heard something just like it.
Something like it.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of these where it's like, whoa, hold up. Did that come before the popular song or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one you have definitely heard. If you haven't, I don't know, maybe you need to drink more Bud Light or less Bud Light. This is Heavy Action by Johnny Pearson.
Yeah, that intro's got pretty strong Wide World of Sports vibes or something.
Well, it's Monday Night Football.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never watched Monday Night Football.
Yeah, but it totally has. Like, there's a whole album, KPM 1000 album, that's all like epic sports themes.
Whoa.
Like, man, I wish I'd known about this when Dad was still alive. Like, Dad, check this out.
Gladiators is on.
Yeah, it's a whole album dedicated to the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Heavy Action.
Heavy Action.
I kind of want to head down to the Highlight Club right now.
Right?
Get some heavy action.
With your weird, scoop.
My arm scoop extension thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your Tron scoop.
Yeah. Maybe like a little hairnet helmet in case the action gets a little too heavy.
Yep.
I just want to hear all these now.
I know, right?
Each one's like a little memory nugget or something.
Yeah, it's like a memory nugget or like a little fancy chocolate variety box. Where it's like, what's this flavor going to be?
You don't know until you bite into it.
Well, you can kind of tell, but
kind of, but not really.
Well, the next one is called Hillbilly Child.
Oh, man.
What?
I'm sorry.
What?
Trying really hard to refrain from going on a Forrest Gump tirade.
Man, for somebody who doesn't like Tom Hanks, you go out of your way to bring up Tom Hanks.
No, it's not that I bring him up. It's that he annoys me so much that anything cursily associated with that, you if you talk about a box of chocolates to anybody else, they're going to be like, oh, you mean C's Candy? Oh, Valentine's Day. Yeah. But no, for me, it's like, ugh, what can I punch right now? Okay. Play the next song, please.
Hang on a second.
Oh, man. Oh, well, okay. It's related. And since our show is mostly rabbit holes.
Hang on, I'm getting a phone call.
Abba. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, that was William Shakespeare. He said you were protesting too much.
Too much.
Thou doth protest too much.
I saw like a little news clip thing about how these like investigative journalists went around to all these places and ordered shrimp and then had it tested as to its origin.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody said that they had Gulf shrimp, and most notably Bubba Gump's, which is like the dumbest thing ever. Like, why did they even make a restaurant? And like, why is it even still a thing? It's like that was the dumbest part of the dumbest movie starring the dumbest actor. And somebody thought, hey,
Bubba Gump shrimp's what they got. We got a whole bunch of boats, 12 Jennies, big old warehouse. We even have hats that say Bubba Gump on them. Bubba Gump shrimp. It's a household name.
Yeah, it turns out Bubba Gump shrimp is like imported from, I don't know, Thailand or something.
Somewhere problematic.
Yeah. It's not heritage caught family fishery Gulf shrimp like they make it out to be.
It's like what the Japanese whaling fleets like catch on their way back.
Or they take it out of the whales after they catch them.
Are you ready to hear Hillbilly Child by Alan Morehouse?
I was born ready.
Yeah, so Hillbilly Child.
I already admitted on the show that I don't really know what skiffle sounds like, but like, wasn't that just pretty much skiffle?
I don't know, maybe. I was going to put Hillbilly Man on here.
Whoa.
But you already brought up one of the things you hate, and I figured if I put banjo on every single playlist,
yeah,
it might turn into one of those kind of podcasts.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hillbilly Child.
I saw this video a few weeks back. Like, I got on this kick of like watching old like desert sled racing kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's a bunch of old films of like just different clubs like filming their desert racing sequences. It's pretty interesting. But somehow because of that, I got this promotional video from Honda from like the mid 60s or something.
Nice.
Like promoting their Trail 90 dirt bikes as like something that, like a New York executive, if he's going on a hunting trip, you got to pick one up when he's like going to get his like big giant sleeping bag and his hunting rifle and stuff. He should like get a Honda Trail 90 too.
Nice.
Yeah, and they like followed these two guys on their hunting trip. And there was a lot of music like that.
Yeah, it's very like, I don't know, like hound dog pup chasing a raccoon, collecting flowers in a mason jar. Like,
well, that's what it's going for.
Sunshiny mountainside.
You can still hear the Brit in it, though.
It's like not quite.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like what were those hillbilly bears that were like, they were like a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And they like, one of them wore a barrel with like suspenders and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a cartoon version of like how British people would see a hillbilly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a lot of the tracks, like they stick with a theme. Like they have some kind of little motifs that like repeat a couple times. It's like that one kind of like steadily builds the whole time. It's like the bass guitar comes in and it's like a little like, I don't know. That's when like it'd be stock footage of like a bear up in the Smoky Mountains or something. And
well, and you could also hear like whoever that was playing guitar, maybe it was Jimmy Page.
Never know.
I wouldn't say I kind of don't think it is, because I kind of think maybe it was. But, I mean, there's some pretty outside bends there and stuff. And there's like a lot of cliche, like, like bluegrassy turnarounds and stuff. G major pentatonic turnaround things. But, like, you could tell when they had to stretch, they were like really stretched, like outside their comfort zone. It's like, well, it would kind of go like this, but you know, it's like, yeah, they didn't have the vocabulary of like a Roy Clark or something,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
It's like a couple cliches, and then like kind of like what they would think it would sound like. Yeah. There was some outside playing on there.
Wow.
It's like one of these dudes might show up like in Appalachia, and like people will be like, "Hey, brother, hey," you know. It's like, but then like, he kind of talks funny. Like, you're not from around here, are you? Yeah. Like at first, yeah, they might trick you. Yeah. Eventually, the jig is up.
Well, this next song might be a little more in their wheelhouse. Maybe not. This is Keith Mansfield, Big Shot.
Big Shot. I used to wear these Guayabera shirts all the time. Like go through stores, and like whenever I found one that was my size, I'd pick them up. Different colors, different occasions. I still have a few, but it was like part of my regular wardrobe for a while there. And I was at a thrift store one time, and I had like 2 or 3 of them to check at checkout. And there was a Cuban lady there checking me out. She was like, Guayabera shirts. In my country, only big shots wear these shirts.
Nice.
And I said, so I shouldn't wear them? And she said, no, you look like a big shot.
Nice.
So
you got the approval, the seal of approval.
Yeah, I got the approval. I think it must have worked too, because my wife always tells our kids that the first time she saw me, I was wearing a blue Guayabera shirt with matching blue Doc Martens. And she thought I was like totally full of myself or something.
Nice.
Because I was wearing something so crazy like that.
It's a good look.
I mean, it's not the case, but I mean, it worked. Apparently she thought I was a big shot too.
Nice. Confidence, huh?
Yeah. She didn't realize I was a total dork. But
yeah, well, you didn't have a podcast back then, so
that's true.
No one knew how big a dorks we were.
It's all being revealed.
So this next one is Keith Mansfield again with Brass in Action.
Whoa. Very action-packed music.
Yeah, like if you were, I don't know, like in a car chase in like Monaco while driving like a...
Or if you're like introducing your crew and you're doing the close-up shots that like go to a freeze frame. Like Clark, the fixer.
And it shows like, you know, a little snippet of me being a fixer. And then freeze frame.
But on the old man tip, since we have to prove our old man credibility, and also like to reveal the inner workings of my brain. I didn't have my glasses on. At first I thought that said bras in action.
Whoa. And
if you grow up in a religious household, like you don't get to see any like R-rated movies or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like one of the more exciting things you can come across is the underwear section in the Sears catalog.
Okay.
So as a young man, like probably concurrent with like all this kind of music, like that's where my like fledgling like attraction to females like came from, like these Sears catalogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when I see bras in action and I hear music like that,
Oh, man.
there's kind of like a different, like these like super sexy spies like running around in their skivvies and like pulling out like little derringers and stuff, and
Nice.
or kissing people with poison lipstick that they have the antidote for.
I can dig it. Yeah. Brian Posehn has a bit about like the J.C. Penney's catalog, or like J.C. Penney's ads or whatever. It's like it would just be a picture of a bra. Like I could just imagine them full of
yeah. Well, in the Sears catalogs, you didn't have to like imagine. You still had to imagine quite a bit, but not quite that much.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe that's why we're all so creative, like back then compared to people now, because we had to use our imaginations a lot more.
Maybe.
It's a skill.
Yeah. You know, there was like more secondhand smoke and like lead fumes coming out of the tailpipe and stuff. But like, you know, you actually had to get up and go outside, out into the woods to find stacks of pornography.
Oh, man.
Instead of just having it at your fingertips.
What, did it like grow on trees or something?
No, you don't know about woods porn?
No.
Oh. Yeah, it's the phenomena of finding dirty magazines, like stashed and or abandoned out in the woods.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I've on several occasions experienced that firsthand.
I guess you're more outdoorsy than I am.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and if you're old enough, it might have just been a line drawing of a lady wearing a girdle.
Oh, man.
That's all you got.
Bras in action.
Oh, man.
I guess Brian Posehn's bras were inactive. They were not active bras.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like seeing something used for its intended purpose.
Yeah.
Where
it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'd always rather see something in context than out of context.
Right. Yeah, and it's why they're like, you know, like a totally awesome sports car in a museum is cool, but like seeing one out on the road and like hearing it, hearing the motor and everything is so much better. And then why there's always like kind of a wistful sadness at like barn finds and stuff, that it's like, oh man, this car, you know, sat neglected in this barn for 50 years or whatever.
Red Barchetta.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, that's cool, but you know, it could have been out avoiding the hovercrafts for 50 years. Sorry,
the gleaming alloy air cars.
Yes.
Okay, we better move along.
Yeah. In case we still have any credit left. Nobody believes what huge dorks we were.
Oh, man. Well,
I think that'll cover it.
This music all comes from a time where cars were shaped like women's bodies.
That's true.
Everything's connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, and if it had the right shape, it might give you swamp fever. This is Swamp Fever by John Cameron.
Do they have swamps in England?
I think they call it, well, I don't know.
I don't think so. Yeah, that wasn't very swampy
Yeah, it kind
or
of had
fevery.
a Donny Benet vibe.
Yeah.
They have bogs. They have moors and they have bogs. But bogs are also a slang for toilet. So, I don't know.
Yeah. One of my short-lived, unsuccessful music projects was called The Fuzz Brothers.
Nice.
And it was all like instrumental cop music.
Nice.
Like, you know, how the 70s slang for police was the fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
So it was going to be the Fuzz Brothers. And it was just going to be like incidental cop music.
Oh, man, there's a crap load of incidental cop music in library music.
Yeah, I did play with this when I was in the pop ensemble in Hawaii, going to college.
Mm-hmm.
This touring flautist, Keith Jarrett, came. He was like on tour in Hawaii, and he didn't bring a band with him. He just like wanted a pickup band or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we learned a bunch of songs he wanted to play, and were his backup band. And like hearing the flute, and that kind of reminded me of when I played that Keith Jarrett guy that one time.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty groovy. And since I was playing guitar, what was the song? Was it Just the Two of Us or something?
Nice.
He had like this funked up version of Just the Two of Us. But
nice. Which is a pretty funky song to begin with.
Yeah. But I brought some congas along and played congas on there.
Nice.
So that Swamp Fever like had some good stuff.
Yeah.
And in that same band, we did have this conga player that would come and play with us. Okay, so yeah, this like 80-year-old dude would come to our practices.
Whoa.
And like sit in on congas, like hang out and stuff. And I had this like brown Vibroverb amp, and I was always playing a Strat back then. But he was like, "Hey, that's a nice setup you got there." I was like, "Oh, thanks." And like, I was talking to the guy. He's a really nice guy, and we were just chatting and whatever. And he left, and my music teacher conductor guy was like, "Do you know who that is?" It's like, "No, it's just a nice old guy." I mean, he's came and sat in on congas with us. He's like, "That's Jerry Bird." And I was like, "What?" Like, the Jerry Bird? He was like, "Yeah." So like the next time he came in, I was like, kind of like, I don't know, stupid. But like Jerry Bird, like he was in Hank Williams' band.
Whoa.
And he like, yeah, he was one of the first people to like sign Dolly Parton to a record contract.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he taught Jimmy Vaughn and Jerry Garcia how to play steel guitar.
Dang.
Played with Hank Williams, Ernest Tubb, Patsy Cline, Red Foley. He's on I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he became like this total like Hawaiian steel guitar like master. So he lived in Hawaii in his later years and just played all the luau's and hula shows and everything.
Cool.
But it's like, whoa, I jammed with that guy, even though he wasn't playing his main instrument. He was playing conga drums. But it was cool. Like, whoa, guess like royalty.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah. Jerry Bird. Let's get back to the other island.
Okay. Well, I've got a quick way to get there.
What's the quickest way to get there?
On Duncan Lamont's Funky Express.
Nice. All aboard.
Yeah.
Get out your funky bus fare. Nobody rides for free. Oh man, that's a total Herbie Hancock Headhunters Chameleon ripoff.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Another album that was recorded at Wally Hyder's Hyde Street Studios.
Mm.
We'll have a Wally Hyder's episode.
Well, I'm pretty sure this next song might be like peak incidental cop music. I might be mistaken. This is James Cameron, The Prowler.
It's just like a warbly vibrato electric piano kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But it totally reminded me, it's like, that's a pretty fat bass line on there too, like
Right.
nice and thuddy, and then that like warbly electric keyboard. It's like, I wonder if that's John Paul Jones playing on there, because he was kind of like a studio guy
Maybe.
too.
Yeah. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
hear more of those ingredients on Heavy Water by Alan Parker. I got a swamp.
Oh man,
I got a swamp fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
that one's my favorite so far. It's just like Hammond organ with like some crunchy guitar and cowbell and like a slow funky groove.
Yeah, and some pretty sick like little drum fills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all cop music, but like this one is the kind of cop movie I would want to star in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you're not like the hapless bumbling detective or like the like get smart kind of guy that like just sort of Inspector Gadget guy that just sort of like falls into like discovering the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like the streetwise cop that like has a bunch of informants, you know, because he's like
Yeah, you're more bullet
gritty and
kind of
yeah,
cop. Yeah.
yeah, has a way of like pumping perps for information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe a turtleneck with a shoulder holster and
Yep.
maybe like Pall Malls or something. Virginia Slims.
Aren't those lady cigarettes?
I don't know. That's what Aunt Ginger used to smoke.
She probably still
Well, her name
does.
was Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe that's why she smoked Virginia Slims. I think they were supposed to be like healthier for you because they're like a little bit smaller diameter.
They were slimmer.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Oh, man.
yeah. Like a slim churro. I'm a diet. I can eat slim churros.
Yep.
Yeah.
I eat twice as many, but
Yep.
well, get the ashtray out because it's time for the highlight reel. This is John Fitty and Sports Roundup.
Whoa. Oh man.
Yeah, and I know you heard it.
This week on Sports Roundup, we have dog racing from Templeton Greens and hang gliding live from Pismo Dunes.
But first up, from Miami Beach, Florida, it's the World Highlight Championships. Yeah, and I know you heard it in there too, so I called it up.
Yeah, it's definitely that little chips bite right there.
Mm-hmm.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
But yeah, did you notice towards the end of Sports Roundup, there was like way deep in the mix, there was kind of like a little chicka chicka wah, like wah wah pedal guitar.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, like it's way deep down in the mix. It's pretty subtle, but it's just a little kind of little accent,
just enough. Yeah.
And then like the main motif comes in, but it's got a piccolo accompanying it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of the main fanfare gets a little like higher pitched.
Yeah.
Bit too.
A little more strident.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that little bridge had some Love Boat waka wakas going on.
Totally.
Nice. Sports roundup.
Yeah. It's like, man, for being just like what they were, like there was a lot of effort and a lot of talent put into these. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like Muzak and elevator music and stuff like that. Like developed such a reputation that like kind of put the stink on this like kind of stuff.
Yeah. That stuff seemed like it was to keep people calm and like subliminally like stop them from doing anything criminal.
Right.
But like this stuff is like it's getting you primed for like not changing the channel or
right.
Like making you want to spend money somewhere or something, you know?
Yeah, there's manipulation, but it's like, I don't know. It's trying to put you in a mood.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what kind of mood. I mean, I've been in heavy traffic and I've been in a mood in heavy traffic, but I'm not sure it sounded this cool. This is John Cameron again with Heavy Traffic.
Yeah, I love those little like doorbell breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of Led Zeppelin and trombones, have you seen that clip going around of Robert Plant singing with the Preservation Hall Jazz Band?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty dope.
Nice.
They're just playing some like New Orleans kind of funky horn battle jazz thing. And he's singing Black Dog.
Whoa.
It's pretty dope.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. He goes back and forth with a trombone player. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Would have been cooler if those guys actually like knew a ton of Zeppelin.
Right.
Because the trombone player totally missed an opportunity of doing like yeah. Could have been really good, but those guys listen to too much jazz. Not enough Zeppelin, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, well, speaking of strange combinations, this is Duncan Lamont, Chalk and Cheese.
Oh, man. How British can you get? Oh, man.
They just keep
What the heck was
doing
that?
it. I don't know. That's one that I found right after I watched that video that unlocked the keywords. And
Wait, say the title one more time.
Chalk and Cheese.
Yes, please.
Yeah, because it's like the next like 4 songs are all ones that I was like already a huge fan of.
Oh.
And then it was like I came across Chalk and Cheese, and it was like, how can you not click on a song titled that? Like,
Right.
Okay, please explain. And it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, it's got some kind of like Benny Hill stuff in it. Like, this is kind of fun. And then it's
that's it's got a little bit of everything in it. Like,
yeah.
Well, like I was talking about, like the acid trip at the top of the show. It's like you having an acid trip, and like all your favorite TV shows are like all like morphed into this one thing. You know, it's like Benny Hill and Golden Girls and Cheers.
Yeah.
And good times.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. And it's like,
It's all there.
it shouldn't work, but it
Oh man.
somehow does. And you're like, okay, well, that was just like a one-off. They do it like 2 more times. Like
It's beautiful.
the piano little
It's so good.
refrains.
And it gets you every time.
Every time.
And then it
And
gets
then it,
that
like,
little funky dick,
Betty
dick,
Hill
dick, dick, dick.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
heck yeah.
Yeah. You want to go out and do your like ministry of funny walks, like get like your little strut down
Totally.
to go with that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then like tighten up and adjust your tie and like
Tip your hat. And
clear
like,
your throat.
Put your cane under your armpit.
Yeah. Fold up your umbrella and put it under your armpit.
With your newspaper.
Yeah. And then the funky bit comes in and you're like back to the strut.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's like one of the most visual audio recordings I've ever heard. Like,
Yeah, and chalk and cheese is one of my favorite Angloisms.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that couldn't be more different than chalk and cheese.
Yeah. But somehow they play well together.
Yeah, it's like, there's a benefit to staying in your lane
Mm-hmm.
because like chalk and cheese is like way more pleasing and satisfying than what was that one? Swamp something?
Yeah. Swamp Fever.
Swamp Fever? Yeah. It's like chalk and cheese nailed it.
Totally.
Swamp Fever,
Yeah. Or Hillbilly Child.
it's good. It's good, but they missed the mark a little bit. But
Yeah.
man, that one was like, that was what's the highest score in darts when you hit like the little red dot in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chalk and cheese was the dart going right in that little, I don't know. How do they score it? Is it like 30 points or something if you get a bullseye?
I don't know.
I don't know. Not a big darts guy, but
Me neither. Yeah. I want to hear just a little bit of chalk and cheese one more time.
oh, it's so good. Oh, man.
So good.
That piano, man, is in the yakety sax.
Yeah. It's like they just nail it. Like that little part where they're it's just like a back and forth between the two.
It's got like everything.
I know.
It's got a little bit of like fish. It's got a little, not the band Fish, but like Abe Lagoda's
Mhm.
Fish. It's got a little bit of All in the Family, like the stand-up piano. Like, man, it's got it all.
Yeah, it's like you could totally imagine like an Odd Couple kind of sitcom.
Yeah.
Like chalk and cheese.
Man.
They go together like chalk and cheese.
It's all there.
Yeah. Where, and like the two parts, like portraying the two actors getting into it.
Yeah, you can even call
doing
it
their
chalk
things.
and cheese.
Yeah.
That's my favorite so far.
Yeah. I figured
That
you
one
might like
and
that one.
was it Heavy Water?
Yeah, Heavy Water's pretty good.
Heavy Water, chalk and cheese.
Yeah, I figured that one was either going to get you or be like too cheeseball.
Chalk and cheese?
Yeah,
No way. It's awesome.
like just a little too weird. Well, you can never tell people's opinions until they.
You know me better than that.
Yeah, but I figure you might find that one cool.
No, that's my favorite so far.
Cool.
I want to like download that and like play it when I go walking around. Or when I get into like funny situations.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just like, if like somebody gets mad at me, I'll just like start playing that and like shrug and put my hands up.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Come up with some little goofy catchphrase.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man.
And then the piano starts and you like kind of like act like you're not going to do like something bad again. Like, I'm so good now. I'm a little angel. And then, nope. Oh, man.
Man, so cheeky.
Super cheeky. Chalk and cheese is as cheeky as chaps.
Yep. Now I wish the songs were in a different order.
Or we could just keep listening to Chalk and cheese.
We could.
No. Yeah, let's get through the list.
It would have been a nice segue to go from cheeky to hot pants, but
Chalk and cheese is a 98.
oh, for sure. Yeah, it's top of the mountain for library music for sure. Go ahead.
We did our top 10, like, and we haven't been ranking stuff, but
I know.
I'm just going to call Chalk and Cheese a 98 now, so it'll end up on our end of the year top 10.
Perfect. Yeah, so one of the artists from like my first encounter with library music was Alan Hawkshaw. And
Hawkshaw Redemption.
Yeah. And Lady Hawkshaw Redemption.
The Alan Hawkshaw Project.
That would be pretty rad. So yeah, this one, Girl in a Sports Car, gets back to that Liquid Sunshine kind of vibe. Like, you can just imagine, like, aerial shots of, like, a lady in a convertible, like, driving by.
Or my daydream was that you've, like, spent the night gambling in Monaco, and the entertainment at the hotel was Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66. And, like, you're a little bit hungover the next day, but you want to, like, get up. You know, you don't want to just, like, lay in bed with the curtains drawn. So you get up and you're wearing like those kind of short shorts with some like espadrilles or something, like a little button-up shirt, and you have dark sunglasses and a hat on, and you meet up with like one of the singers from Brazil 66, and she takes you out for a spin along the coastline in her sports car.
Nice.
And that's playing on the radio.
Totally.
Yeah, that had a Sergio Mendes vibe to it.
Right.
I was way into those guys in high school. It's weird that these songs are all from like about around the time I was born. You know, it's like the world was such a different place.
Yeah.
58-ish years ago.
Yep. Yeah, so much more hopeful and groovy. On that note, this is Alan Hawkshaw with Beat Me Till I'm Blue. And I don't usually do, or at least on this, I didn't go for like ones with visualizer videos or whatever, just because, you know, they're instrumentals, but it's like people have taken some of the Alan Hawkshaw stuff and put it to footage that like really captures the vibe.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that because I really like this music. It's very human, you know, and it's real. It's all real. Like a friend of mine sent me this thing and he was like, "Oh, this is so cool." And it was some like radio thing or something, but it was all AI generated.
Oh, gross.
And it was all like this like super nostalgic kind of stuff. Like this weird space station thing with like all these attractive women dressed all like 50s style or something. And like everything's all like, you know, like chrome and tail fins and stuff. And like, and then the music's going, or it's like, you know, like World War II kind of big band music or something. It's like, this is gross. It's like, you can tell it's AI, and like, you know, they try and make it all appealing and stuff, and like, you know, the way these women look and stuff. And it's like, no, this is gross. It's like there's nothing cool about this at all. It's
Right.
disgusting. It's horrible. It was like I don't know, it's like the music I hear when my kids are playing Fallout or something.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I know that game's fun, but it's like, can you like change the music or something?
Oh, man. I haven't heard any of the music from it because the game hasn't come out yet, but there's what's it called? Atom Fall? A lot of buzz about a British game that's coming out. It's like Fallout, but British. So it doesn't have any of the cartoonish
all
stuff.
Nevada desert or whatever.
Atom Fall is a narrative-driven action survival game set in an alternate 1960s England. 5 years after a fictionalized version of the 1957 wind scale nuclear disaster. I've seen a bunch of British people playing it and freaking out. So this is it. Yeah, this is Alan Hawkshaw with Beat Me Till I'm Blue.
Man, I'm just picturing Jimi Hendrix descending on London in 1966.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, what a time to be alive.
Totally. Yeah, you don't see a lot of stores with the racks of boas anymore.
No, not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon has a poor selection of mod clothes.
I don't know what that footage was from, but it fits. It fits that song pretty well. Fits the vibe.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep going with the more Alan Hawkshaw. And there were a couple different visualizer ones in case any of our listeners...
Well, that aside from the visuals and everything, that music was great.
Oh, yeah.
Like that organ playing was like spot on.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, all the Alan Hawkshaw stuff is like top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Hot Pants, Alan Hawkshaw and Alan Parker.
If you think our show is too misogynistic, there was one in there for the ladies.
Oof. Sorry.
Oh man.
I just love the flouting going on there. That song. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I've heard that one before. Maybe you've played that one.
Yeah, I've played that one before you.
Yeah, James Brown had a Hot Pants song too.
Yeah.
And Booker T and the MGs had a song called Hip Hug Her.
Oh yeah, you've played that one for me.
Which is a play on Hip Hugger.
Mm-hmm.
Which was like the opposite of short pants. It's like low pants or something.
Yeah, like low rise bell bottoms.
Yeah. Yeah, this stuff is all like so up my alley because I love like Ventures, Booker T and the MGs, like all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
As a muso. You don't always have to have singing.
No, there's a distinct dearth of singing in today's playlist.
There's vocalization.
There is.
But no singing.
You know, because sometimes, like, the singers have to step down to give more room for the funky fanfare. This is Keith Mansfield, the funky fanfare.
There's a cool drum break in there.
Right. So that concludes the KPM.
The KPM 1000 stuff.
Yeah. End of the playlist. What did you think?
Oh, it's all so good. There's some definite favorites there, though. So we're out of the KPM 1000.
Yeah. Do you want to hear what?
Into what's this label called?
Or Bruton.
Bruton. And you said that they shared some of the same writers.
Yeah, some of the
KPM and Bruton.
Yeah, I believe KPM was the original one, and then Bruton started and probably headhunted a few people or something. I don't know all the details. So this is all going to be a little different because the tracks aren't individually separated. So this is just by the album. And
so it's all like one big long song for like background music kind of stuff? Or?
No, it's different pieces that all kind of are under a similar theme.
Oh, okay.
So first up is Light My Fire. I've listened to a little bit off of all of these, but what I was thinking about doing was kind of skipping around.
Yeah,
to the different...
that's a bad jam right there, though.
Right?
Like to kick it off. Yeah, like if you're like a busy professional, you don't have time to like stay abreast of all the latest musical acts out there,
mm-hmm.
but you want to have like some tasty jams to like put on the hi-fi. If you have some friends over, if you're having a big fondue party or something, you want to have some good music on, to like keep people talking late into the night and dancing and having a good time. Yeah. Brunton's got what you need. They got the goods.
You don't want like words or lyrics or
right
hit songs to get in the way.
Yeah, you'll just, the party will have its own conversation, but
mm-hmm.
You want to keep things going.
All right, so let's skip ahead a little bit. Now we're in Donny Benet territory.
Yeah, we've left the 60s.
Yeah.
We've entered the 70s pretty hard.
Yeah, they had a whole disco album. That was all like generic disco.
Oh.
Here we go.
Yeah, that was like where the kids are like getting ready to do the parade.
Uh-huh.
Before the bank robber drives through and like takes out one of the floats and starts getting pursued by Ponch and John.
Totally.
It's like the happy, upbeat, hopeful thing where like everybody's just digging on the parade vibe.
Yeah.
Before the bank robber has to like cross through the parade, wreak havoc.
Yeah, totally.
Make one of the Shriners do a A-team flip in his little tiny car.
Oh, man. Awesome.
Your giant four-door Chrysler running away from the bank robbery.
Splashy suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Wallows. Going around the corners.
Screeching all the tires around turns and like leaning over like 45 degrees.
Losing hubcaps.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing
flying.
You go off a jump and all the hubcaps fly off, but then in the next scene they're all back on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to have the one where it, like you go around a corner and it like you kind of skid and like like weights the outside tires like a lot, and like one of the hubcaps like comes off and like it goes spinning like along like rolls alongside the car for a minute.
Yeah. On these like totally tall profile bias ply Firestones or something.
Yeah.
On steel rims, making sparks.
Totally.
Oh, man.
So, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, this music's pretty cool.
Oh, no, it's cool. It's really cool.
But, like, where's the humanity? Where, like, I need to hear some vocals.
Oh. Are we going to hear vocals on this playlist?
Yes. And there is actually, there are some lyrics coming up, but you need to wait for the lyrics. We have to ease you back in. So this is Voices in Harmony.
Ooh. Wow. The acid trip continues.
Oh, here we go. That's the one I wanted to play for you.
Oh, man. No. No.
Yeah, listen. Like this part.
Oh, man.
The beat.
Oh. Oh, man. No.
It's so Genghis Khan.
The acid trip continues. It's like
Man.
Kenny Loggins and Frankie Valli and the Beach Boys and
No,
whatever that other thing was.
that's just pure Genghis.
Bobby McFerrin.
Yeah, yeah. That's just pure Genghis Khan to me. Like rockin' son of Genghis Khan.
Yeah. Yeah, Voices in Harmony is
no chalk
fail.
and cheese.
It's no chalk and cheese.
What are you talking about? Come on, that's pretty good.
Yeah, they're trying to do like an Earth, Wind, and Fire thing there or something.
Totally.
Oh, it's so bad.
Right?
You know, I mean, there's great singers out there, and there's people with beautiful and amazing voices.
Mm-hmm.
But like as a whole, like the human voice is like ugly sounding.
What?
I mean, that's just my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't know. I surround myself with people with nice voices, but I prefer to spend my days in silence. And, you know, and we need to communicate and stuff, but like, I don't need like 8 guys like communicating at me in harmony with like glibby little like doodahs, or you know what I mean?
You don't need a coked out acapella band.
No.
Do wah.
Yeah.
In your face.
Like
You're
I haven't had
in a fetal position on the floor.
Yeah, well, like I haven't had a haircut for like maybe 40 years now. Like gone somewhere to get a haircut, just because I'm afraid that I might go to a barber shop and they might have an actual barbershop quartet.
Oh, that's your reason? Interesting.
That's the only reason. I haven't gone to get a haircut anywhere.
Interesting.
I'm afraid people might break out into song.
Well, maybe we can give you something to look forward to with the shape of things to come.
Shapes of things to come?
No.
Oh.
Shape of things to come. So I think I'll let it play and let you say skip ahead when you're ready to skip ahead.
Skip ahead. you don't need to let it play. I already have my whole one. It's not what you hear when you get to Fantasy Island, but it's like what's playing as you're doing everything you need to do to get there.
Right.
It's like getting a taxi, going to the airport, packing your suitcase, getting some traveler's checks, waiting in the airport, maybe like picking up a sandwich and a magazine to read on the plane. Yeah, just like that's the music that's playing while you're doing all this stuff to leave for your trip to Fantasy Island.
Nice. Oh yeah, here we go. It's like disco, disco prog.
Yeah, it's listenable. I could listen to this, but man, it's heavy cheese factor.
Totally. Yeah, it's too much cheese, not enough chalk.
Yeah. If you were a kid and like one of your grandparents or like an older uncle or something, like, or some parents or somebody like gave you one of these albums for like your birthday or something, you'd be super bummed.
So these are the musical equivalent of a pair of socks?
No, they're the musical equivalent of another musical equivalent, but it's like the musical equivalent of you go to Starskate and like the girl you like gets you Michael Jackson's Off the Wall, but your aunt gets you like the disco musical soundtrack to Star Wars, which is like not even like a licensed thing, but it has like a disco version of the Star Wars theme.
Which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, but like when you're a kid, you're like kind of bummed.
True.
Like, what the hell is this?
This ain't Star Wars.
I don't even like fondue. Yeah. It's more fondue and less mac and cheese, you know, like you're going to be a little bit bummed. Admit it.
Wow. Hold on.
Well, it's going to be one of those things where like you're bummed out at the time that they get you this, but then like when they've passed on, you like miss them and you like wish you still had that album.
Fair.
So I'm not saying it's all bad, but it's all pretty bad.
Yeah. The Brunton stuff is different. It's also like way later too. It's like 70s and 80s.
I haven't heard anything that makes me want to like start writing a pilot for a sitcom or like find the right outfit and walk.
Right.
To like move to a new city.
Yeah, this stuff's all a little more commercial, prepackaged, and we're definitely going to go back to Donnie Benet land on this next one. This next album is pop vocals, so we'll actually get some lyrics and people singing.
Oh. That was bad. So they don't have a lot of their album covers. But is that this geometric perspective block thing?
Yeah.
Is that positive space or negative space?
It's up to the listener to decide.
Whoa.
Right.
I'm undecided. At first I thought it was negative space, but then looking at this one, it seems positive space. What's that guy doing?
I think he's a DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the KPM 1000 ones just have that like British racing green cover, and but the Brunton ones have this weird geometric pattern. And then like the 3D logo, and then like a line drawing of like some activity. Some activity. And it's like
it's like the Peachy Folders, but instead of doing sporting events, they're like
exactly
doing like little tasks. Semi-professional tasks.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad you picked up on that. That's
I'm
totally
kind of
what I
over the whole
too.
Pop vocals thing.
Really, we have. That's only the first one.
Yeah. No. Oh man.
See, I actually kind of like this.
It's better than Juicy Lucy. Looking back at me and she's on fire.
Yep.
The hell is that?
Yeah, I think Juicy Lucy needs to go to the clinic.
Oh man. Disco really was the worst of humanity.
It wasn't the best, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't hate all disco, but all disco hates me.
I like Rose Royce.
Yeah, there's some good disco, but...
Yeah, there's some great disco. There's also some really terrible disco.
Disco is a really bad time.
Yeah. So, that's old news. All of that stuff, disco, that's all. Come on.
Oh, are we like
Okay, Grandpa.
advancing the timeline?
Advancing the timeline.
Okay.
None of that old.
Yeah, pop vocals blows.
None of that old music.
Light My Fire is probably the one I would pick out of these.
Well, it sounds like you're sick of the old stuff and you're looking for something new. Like a new
Well,
wave.
I like all the KPM stuff.
Yeah, that's old.
It's much more groovy.
I think what you want is something new. A new wave.
Ooh. I'm intrigued.
This is street level.
Whoa.
Check out the peachy folder on this one.
Yes. All the fashion-forward kids are listening to Devo these days.
Right.
This is better.
All the fashion-forward kids prefer their reverb gated.
Yep. The song we did this weekend was, well, I would call it old wave, but kind of new wavy.
A little bit.
Okay, you can skip ahead. I get it.
That's like the most half-hearted little, like, slap bass little burnt.
Yeah. See, well, this is
Really
1981, weird. And I mean, based on that pop vocal thing, I would have thought Bruton Music would have been out of business by now.
No, they kept going for like another almost 10 years.
Dang.
All right.
Yeah, this one's better than that disco crap, though.
For sure.
Ah, Gloria.
Yep.
Da 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 da. Gloria.
Nice.
Hey, 81 was too early for all those like Madonna bracelets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Weak. Like
Whoa.
Oh, Adam and the Ants.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's too derivative for me.
Yeah, like some teachers get tenure, but they really shouldn't be teaching.
Right.
And some musicians belong to the union, but they really shouldn't be playing music.
You think the bass player on this one, like, yeah, got his union card and just stopped giving a crap?
Yeah, well, like that last song that was kind of dead, weak. It's like, yeah, they're just like getting the check.
Pretty much.
Phoning it in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Yeah, nobody on KPM was phoning it in. Oh, reggae. It's pretty irie.
Oh, man. It is pretty weak, though.
Oh, boy. Street Level had so much promise.
I know. All right.
Oh, man.
They can't all be winners. All right. So we got two more.
It's all listenable. Like, I don't know. If I was on a long car trip, I would probably listen to something like this.
Yeah.
Or like one of those international, like if I was flying to Australia or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 23-hour flight. Well, no. Actually, I'd probably listen to something else. I might go crazy if I had to listen to only Bruton music.
Like 25 hours.
In a little metal tube 30,000 feet up.
Over the ocean.
Yeah. With a bunch of people like who use tied dryer sheets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen those commercials where the people are like smelling their clothes and it's like they're on the plane and the lady's like, I can smell all the perfume on my clothes. Have you seen that one?
Mm-hmm. I don't watch commercials anymore.
That's like my worst nightmare. Being stuck in a metal tube that smells like the laundry aisle at the grocery store.
All right. Next up is City Limits.
Oh.
What
Street Level.
What do you think
these
of?
Are really hip names.
I know. What emotions and feelings and vibes do you think of when you think of City Limits?
Oh, well, I was thinking of this story because, like, when you played the one, I was thinking of, like, the sitcom where you're, like, the new kid in town and, like, you run through the park and, like, it scares all the pigeons up and they, like, you know, get the little intro footage of you, like, and all the pigeons flying away because you're, like, in the park.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be this band called Buck Naked and the Bare Bottom Boys.
Okay.
They're like a San Francisco band. And we played with them one time at the Plaza Theater. So we're like getting ready for the show or whatever. And those guys were back there. We're like hanging out backstage. And like basically they would like play naked on stage.
Whoa.
And it's kind of like a Red Hot Chili Peppers kind of thing, but they were like a rockabilly kind of band. But yeah, so we're like backstage with them and they're all embarrassed and they're like, could you guys turn around? We need to change into our costumes. And it's like, sure. Yeah, so we like turn around so they can have their privacy and stuff. And it's like, okay, you want us to turn around? You're going to go get on a stage in front of a bunch of people with no clothes on. But they're all like embarrassed and timid. But yeah, unfortunately, that guy Buck Naked, apparently he would walk his dog all the time through this one park, and his dog would scare the pigeons like that. And this is what the whole, you know, like Mary Tyler Moore park pigeon scene made me think of this. So he's walking his dog, and every time it would scare all these pigeons away. And there was some guy that would always sit on the park bench and feed the pigeons.
Yeah.
And it always pissed him off that he would, you know, walk by with his dog and his dog would scare all the pigeons away. So this one time he ended up shooting him. The guy sitting on the park bench, he came walking by with his dog and scared all the pigeons away, and the guy shot him.
Yikes.
Killed him, yeah. So
that's not cool.
Rest in peace, Buck Naked. Yeah. Anger management issues. Guess feeding the pigeons was all that was helping that guy keep it together. All right, so yeah, that's what I think of when I think of City Limits.
Huh. All right.
Yeah. Bunch of rats in a cage. Getting on each other's nerves. Bad drivers.
Yep. Well, let's see if Broughton followed a similar vein.
Oh.
Nope.
Okay, you can skip ahead. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. Ooh, jazzy.
Yep.
Weedy, 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 diddly-dee.
Pretty good.
Aroogadoo-doo-doo. Oh.
Lighten it up.
Latin feel. Oh, strings. Okay. Oh, man. Ooh.
Quiet Storm.
Also 1981. It has a much more urban feel than the street level one.
Yeah, so they were from the same year, but street level is BRH 15 and City Limits is BRH 16. So either it's a completely different bass player or City Limits was recorded first and the guy broke his thumb while recording City Limits.
I don't know.
I think it's probably a different guy.
Probably a different guy.
But it makes sense. Like, you know, because there's some pretty dope bass playing on City Limits. Like, that was actually pretty good.
Pretty good.
Oh, man. I liked it.
Had some highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to try one more from 1984?
Whoa, 1984. The future.
Yes. This is Rock Stadium.
Whoa. Rock. We like rock.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Come on, chant along.
Oi, oi, oi. Okay, you skip ahead.
Whoa. Whoa.
And they didn't even try and come up with artwork for this one.
No.
Okay.
Man. Yeah, now we're talking. There's some gated reverb for you.
All those drummers that were worried about losing their jobs
Yeah.
because drum machines came along. It was true for one guy. Whoever was on the working the union scale for Bruton music. Yeah. Had to go on the dole in 1984.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
That's terrible.
This is all like programmed crap.
Man.
Aunt Judy told me, you're getting into rock music, kid. Here you go. Here's a record.
Man.
Oh, boy.
Aunt Judy's from a town where they outlawed dancing.
Man, if that was the only music available, I'd probably outlaw dancing too. Find something else to do, guys.
Yeah. So
you don't want to have to hear this music.
Oh man.
Yeah, we weren't going to bash music, but well, that's not really music.
I mean, it is, but
it isn't.
Yeah, it's like prepackaged commercial music.
But not, for this, we included it really for the sake of completeness.
Yeah, and there are other library music studios and stuff, but like my general impression is that Bruton is like unrefined ore, and
it's pretty industrial.
Yeah, whereas KPM is like more gemstones, cut and uncut.
Yeah. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, it's like it's a little more refined and like some of them are a little rough, but you know, they still have some sparkle and some potential. And then some of them are just like perfect. Yeah,
Bruton is like generic food. You know? Yeah. KPM is like
human music,
like store brand food, but like some of it's actually pretty good. It just happens to be the store brand, and it's pretty good.
Right. Yeah.
But there's also people that aren't like way into music, you know, like just casual music listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And they would hear that KPM stuff, and to them that would just be like super lame and unlistenable.
Mm-hmm. Like, what is this weird stuff?
Yeah. And on that note, can we hear Chuck and Cheese?
I was just going to say, I think I know what you want to hear.
We know what the kids want. We know what the youth of today want.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
It literally has it all. Has a little bit of 9 to 5 in there too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Yep.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Chalk and Cheese is a clear standout. But library music as a whole is cool. And am I wrong that we're just scratching the top of the iceberg or whatever that saying goes?
Okay, so
I mean, there's got to be volumes of this stuff, right?
Oh, there's a crap load.
Okay. So yeah, it's like unprocessed mine tailings and ore. So it's like rich diggings. Like you're gonna have to go through a lot of dirt and like gravels and fines and stuff, but there's gonna be some little nuggets in there.
Totally. Yeah, see, I'm looking up Duncan Lamont because like Alan Hawkshaw and what's his name? Keith Mansfield and Alan Parker. Yeah, Keith Mansfield were one like artists or composers that I was already familiar with. But yeah, like Duncan Lamont did stuff for both KPM and Brutton, and then unless there's another Duncan Lamont,
is he the tenor sax there on Chalk and Cheese?
he must be, because there's
That piano is great too. It's so schmaltzy.
Yeah, it's like almost ragtime in a couple places, and then just total like British seaside music hall, like The Entertainer.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's got an album called Summer Samba. He's got one called Best of the Bossa Nova Music. Wait, Best of the Bossa Nova on Music for Pleasure.
Oh, okay. I like pleasure.
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to check out more.
Yeah, there's a lot to sort through.
Oh, he did Funky Express too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Funky Express was another standout too.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if this Lucky one from Brutton is any good.
78. Peak Disco. Oh, Country Bound.
That ain't disco.
I think this is just a song. This is BRG3.
No, this is Lucky One from BRG3.
Right.
Yeah.
But the album is Country Bound.
Well, yeah, because did you see all the Bruttons had a alphanumeric?
Yeah.
BRMH, BRG3, BRMH13.
See, I would want to listen to this while I drive my Rover Stag into the countryside.
Right? All right. Let's listen to The Apartment.
Oh, man.
Ain't no chalk and cheese.
Yeah, ain't no chalk and cheese, that's for sure.
All right. Let's check out Pressure Point.
Nice.
Whoa. It's like pure
Man,
jazz.
those union guys earned their money that day.
Totally.
I think that's a good introduction, though. I think you picked a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah, and it kind of like that's the gist of it, is that it's like, yeah, there are some like gems in there, but it's like, you know, there's so much of it and not all of it is that great.
There's something for everybody, and there's nothing for somebody.
Private Thoughts of a Practical Joker.
Yeah, that's a good title.
Oh man. Oh dude. All right, we're gonna add this to the end of the playlist.
Okay.
This whole album series.
Caricature.
Yeah. So the Private Thoughts of a Practical Joker. I spy with my little eye. I was walking through this park. Cat and mouse. Feeling fine. I was climbing this hill. Hopscotch. Evening park stroll.
See, wasn't I talking about walking through parks?
Yeah. Just wait. Laurel and who? That one's got some promise. One girl and her dog. Birds, bikinis, and boobs.
Birds, dogs, walking through parks.
Yep. It's all making sense now. Sitting on this fence.
Is a terrible acid trip.
I came through the door backwards. Thanks. Repartee, chalk and cheese, and take it steady.
Oh, so this is the album that Chalk and Cheese came off of.
Yes, that's why I looked it up.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, because you know how like they all kind of have themes.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, well, what else did they stick with Chalk and Cheese?
Yeah, I like this caricature theme. Oh, dude, this is the one.
This is it.
Yeah, see, this is what I would put on instead of one of those Bruntons to like get a whole album experience.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Oh, nice. Clarinet. It's good. Oh, yes.
Nice.
Oh,
man. I've never wanted to have kids, but I could imagine, and I can imagine the feeling you're having right now, especially as an current empty nester, of annoying the crap out of your kids.
Oh man!
By like putting that music on and doing a little dance. Oh man!
Well, Chalk and Cheese has those little pauses in it, which is like one of my favorite things to have in a song when you want to annoy people with your dance moves. Is to have like the little freeze frame,
the little
like
mime,
coy,
the
little
little
coy freeze frame thing.
Yeah, but it's like it's the mime like marionette like pause. Like you're not just like freeze. Like it's the pop and lock like breakdancing like marionette.
Yeah, or you rest your chin on your hands on top of an umbrella, and you can't move again until somebody else bumps you.
Yes.
And you start dancing again. Yeah.
Oh man,
it's all quality. What does that say? The name of the song?
I read it to you. Birds, bikinis, and boobs.
Yeah. It's all like
acid trip.
Yeah. Quantum physics.
Yeah, that's got to be like a sampled flute sound on a keyboard, but it sounds cool.
It could be a mellotron.
Oh, yeah. It's got a cool tone.
Yeah, mellotrons are like actual tape recordings.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a strip of magnetic tape in them of an actual recorded flute or violin or singer.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll play like a 8-second loop when you hit the key. I don't know if that was a mellotron flute or not. I think that's a real flute.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's like, it's so crisp though. Like it doesn't have any of the like...
The breathiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flute can sound like that.
Sounds fantastic though.
Oh baby.
Man.
Repartee.
Duncan, you did it again.
With that guitar. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, and there's that ragtimey piano.
Yep.
Oh, man. Streetwalker bass meets ragtime piano meets caddy wah wah. Nice brushwork on the drums, too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Some Pink Panther flute.
Yep.
Nice.
What was... Oh, it was that... what was his name? That piano player singer dude that like got super popular, but he had that one album that was like really, really good, all about like New Orleans and Louisiana.
Billy Joel?
No.
You mean the guy that was in all the rom-coms? Harry Connick Jr.?
Yes. Yeah, he had that one song that totally had like that like funky wah-wah guitar tone. Just like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's totally what I'm hearing.
Haven't listened to him forever.
Yeah. I listened to that album like once, like 6 or 7 years ago. And it made me totally nostalgic for working with you and Tristan.
Oh, man.
So we used to listen to that at Zap.
Yeah, that was one of them.
Quite a bit.
That one, Rage Against the Machine. The Orb.
Yep. Can you imagine how much we'd annoy everybody there playing library music?
Oh, man.
No, guys, you got
dancing around and stuff.
You really got to listen to it.
Walking funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Yeah. Caricature seems like where it's at.
Yeah, I'll add that to the end of the playlist. All right. Do you want to hear Take It Steady before we go, or Chalk and Cheese one more time?
Well, let's hear Take It Steady. Weird.
That is weird. Let's see if
it's like I saying, Chalk, Chalk, Chalk and Cheese.
Maybe.
Chalk, Chalk, Chalk and Cheese.
Whoop. There's the guitar.
Talking about chalk and cheese made me think of Chuck E. Cheese. And that made me think of...
and their chalky cheese.
I was telling you about, there's like these outtakes from Van Halen Jump. It's like this road crew guy that was with them.
Oh, you told me about... Yeah,
Yeah, and he just unleashed all this like VHS and home movie stuff, like insider stuff. But there's this one, I think it's called Jump Outtakes or something like that, and it has a bunch of footage of Michael Anthony like screwing around on stage with the Rock-afire Explosion Band.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't
totally
find that.
Hilarious. I don't know. It's a deep dive, but it's worth checking out just to see Michael Anthony screwing around with the Rock-afire Explosion Band.
Yeah,
I looked
for it and I found the channel, but I couldn't find that video.
If you haven't heard library music, you probably have, but
yeah,
it's very subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely gonna like dig into more of this stuff because, yeah, there was some of it was like, oh, ouch, painful.
Yeah,
but some of it was just amazing.
Right. Yeah, it depends on the composer.
Yeah. So for next week, I'm going to introduce Clark to Gong, the deep rabbit hole that's the Gong family tree. So get out your propeller beanies and your teapot spaceships.
What?
And we'll check out Gong for next week's episode.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of hoping they were like a stoner metal band. Do you think Gong would make a cool stoner metal band name?
Yeah, they are kind of stoner metal.
But you said propeller.
There are a lot of things.
Propeller beanie. Now I don't know what to think. Now I'm thinking chalk and cheese. Now I'm thinking about biting into a piece of cheese and finding chalk in the middle.
Well, you'll find out next week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed library music.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
And thanks for listening. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Checking out music with my bro. Will it dig it? Yes or no? Here we go on with the show. The Hell Bro Podcast.
Sir, we have a situation over here.
If there's a wiener on that monitor, I swear to God, Stu.
Something is drawing a lot of processing power. Oh, wait, no wonder. There's another real human in the simulator.
Okay, Jerry. Big pitch meeting. Take a break time. You can do this.
How did this happen? Where's the abductions department?
Hey man, abductions just follows the acquisition order.
Don't put this on acquisitions! We only acquire humans that haven't been simulated!
Well, simulations doesn't simulate anybody that's been abducted, so...
Oh, I see. Oh, it was no one's fault. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well then, problem solved. Oh wait, no, there's still another human in here! Who is he?
Rick's son-in-law, Jerry Smith. So far, he hasn't noticed he's in a simulation.
Well, cap his sector at 5% processing, keep his settings on auto, and we'll deal with him later. Rick Sanchez is the target.
Gotta relax. It's just a pitch. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it.